is the Black Canyon Dam. Water's looking pretty high too. Warmest day of the week right now. It's in the early 80s, I'd say. About 3:30 in the afternoon. Going to do some non-whitewater kayaking, which is a good place to start since I've never kayaked. Wow. Yeah, look at that water. You can take the person out of Babylon, but can you surgically remove the Babylon out of the person? It's a case-by-case basis. I'm actually filming the camera strapped behind my head. People should really contemplate how their environments and their lifestyles and their diets and their thoughts impact and create their reality. And that's one thing that I've learned in my journey, changing my reality, changing my diet, changing my routine, changing my environment, changing literally where I am on the planet. And a lot of people fall into these habitual mindsets, behavioral tendencies towards conformity, towards being susceptible to mind control, towards encouraging others to live a slave-based lifestyle. These are all things that are wrong inherently. It's inherently wrong to suggest that people remain in bad situations. So this is why it's important to travel and change up your environment, to change your perception. There's a lot of ways that people openly change their perception. Most commonly in our society with drugs and alcohol. Television. People love to watch scary movies, of course, but they don't really want to look at what's really going on in the world. So humanity has shown a desire to change things up within its own consciousness. But is it being done for the better on a collective level, on a large scale level, or is it being done in an unmindful way? Viewers of this YouTube channel shouldn't have to think very long about what the answer to that question is. So we need to challenge ourselves in the same way we might challenge ourselves at the gym, or while kayaking, or while hiking on a hot day. So hopefully you brought a bottle of water. Hopefully that proverbial bottle of water will be with us at all times as we try to hydrate our mind, body, and spirit so we don't overheat, combust, or explode from the tensions of our world, from the environmental factors that may be around us. With so many people living in cities, living in dense population centers that aren't getting in touch with nature, they're becoming programmed more and more, generation by the generation, to act in a less human way. And in fact, we're seeing more and more expressions of inhumanity within the larger whole. So changing up your environment, being out in nature, keeping yourself on the edge of your seat, tip of your toes, hydrating your mind, body, and spirit. These are all good things. Moments to just sit back and take in the silence. That's one thing that really is the adjustment for people that live in the city when they come out to rural areas. It's adjusting to the silence. That's why when you go camping, you see other people with their rigs and their mobile homes with their TVs out and their stereo systems. They can't handle the silence. And even me, I'm jibber jabbering here and there. Even it's difficult for me to handle the silence. But that's actually why I periodically go off grid and get out of the dense population centers, as I refer to them, to really tap into that silence and sound, mind, body, and spirit. So anyway, look at this mountain. One thing I noticed in my travels is the unique formation of the rocks in certain areas. And I was mentioning to somebody else that in Colorado, between Gunnison, Colorado and Alamosa, Colorado, there's a pass that you go through where a lot of the rocks look like hands praying. And it's really, really interesting because I haven't seen formation of rocks just like that. But over here we have some interesting shapes and designs, as well as what looks like some sort of a mining hole or cave right over there. Railroad. Fairly clear skies. This area is not immune to being affected by geoengineering, but the effects of geoengineering are far less than what you see in the larger cities. So that is nice. And that's one thing you see a lot of in Colorado and elsewhere in the Southwest is the sagebrush. Definitely a different experience. This is a lot easier to row than a lot of boats that I've been on in the past. All right, we have a nice little beach over here. Maybe we should try to survive for a week. Catch all the bugs and snakes that we need to eat. So this is a private bay, private dock bay, and they got a fire pit right up there. Picnic table. The sign says slow, children at play.
I guess that means us.
Doing a little paddling with the hands only. Right now we're just floating downstream, back where we came. That's where we've been.